Hey everyone, it's me, Nita, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm not going to be doing anything embroidery related. I'm not doing anything HTV related. I'm actually going to be showing you guys my new DTF printer. Yes, DTF, direct to film printer. And I'm going to be making a bunch of new t-shirts designs for my Etsy shop and for my website. So I'm just going to show you guys this new machine that we have and all these new cool designs that we're going to be making for some t-shirts, and hopefully they get us some sales on Etsy. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to show you guys some of the shirts I've already made. I'm going to show you guys the printer, how we print out the direct-to-film sheets to be able to heat press onto the shirts. And basically it's like a little mini tutorial. I'm not going to go too much into depth. So if you definitely want to see more videos, make sure to give this video a like and make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm also going to link my husband's channel down below too. He's going to be doing a lot of DTF tutorials as well. We're actually going to be converting a printer so we can do more direct to film prints. I'll get into more detail about that when it's time, but let's just go ahead and dive in and I'll show you what I'm working on. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the shirts I've already made. I made this one for myself. So far, I'm really impressed with the colors and how it almost feels like vinyl almost on the shirts, but I'm loving how vibrant the colors are. It's definitely a lot different than HTV. Now you can definitely attain this look with HTV. You would just have to get like the animal print vinyl and just some basic plain vinyl, and you can make something similar to this. But it's definitely nice that it's all on one sheet, and I'll show you the sheets in just a second. We made this one for myself, and this one right here was actually one of our first ones, and we've definitely done a lot of tweaking to the printer. As you can kind of see like a white outline on the design, and that has to do with like the white ink on the back. So to help like the pictures stand out and be very vibrant, I guess the back of the design is like all white, and if you have too much of the white ink, it'll kind of like bleed out and you'll have like a white border basically almost. But Eric was able to figure that out and fix that, and so far I feel like these prints have turned out really good. Definitely a big difference between the first one to like these ones. So with the DTF printer, they print out onto these like plastic sheets of, not paper, but these plastic sheets, and basically you'll mirror it just like how you would with HTV, and you would lay it down on the shirt and heat press it. And yeah, so we have a bunch of new like small business shirts, just all kinds of different ones. Hater motivator. I'm making this design for a friend. We're gonna start getting some Thanksgiving shirt designs up, and of course some Halloween ones. Just look how cool this looks. It almost looks like glitter. We'll see if it turns out like the same, but it legit looks like glitter vinyl. Super cool. This one I'm making for myself, antisocial butterfly. I love the tie-dye colors in the butterfly, and I'm very antisocial. I'm actually very shy, so that shirt would be perfect for me. I have a dog mama one that I'm gonna make for myself. I'm also gonna be making this one for one of my friends. I might make this one for myself too. Super cute. Gold digger. I'm making this for another one for my friend. Some Christmas ones. I'm like actually gonna try and be ahead for like all these different holidays. Last year I was kind of behind and only got a few things up. I don't even think I got Christmas stuff up last year. Here's a registered nurse one. This one's gonna go to my husband's nephew's girlfriend. So we're gonna make that one for her. And then this one, Eric split in half, but basically it says Slay at Home and then Mom. Making that one for myself. And then I'm also going to be giving out a bunch of teacher ones for back to school. So I have this one that I still need to pick someone to give this one to. And then we're actually going to be doing like a first grade, second grade, third grade teacher design. And I picked a third grade teacher, so I'm going to be making her a third grade teacher design. But yeah, I'm excited to see how these turn out. So we're going to be heat pressing a bunch of these. Here's this one. This one's actually a mess up. Eric forgot to mirror it. And as you can see, it's backwards. So just like HTV on your Cricut, you're gonna have to mirror the image. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's head over to, it's kind of like our print room almost basically. We have the DTF printer in a separate room just because when these print out, like you can't like touch them at all because the ink's like wet still. So we needed like a controlled area basically. And honestly, we don't have any more room in my kitchen. If you're new here, I work in my kitchen and I live in California, so our homes are not that big. So I'm running out of space in here. We had to set up the DTF printer and all that in our son's nursery. So we already have one room that's completely taken over. That's like my fabric room where I have all my fabric stored. And then my kids' room, we took like half of it and it's gonna be strictly for DTF stuff. So let's go check it out. What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out why my cartridges aren't resetting.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, this is our kids' room. We moved their beds out to our room. So we don't really have a big home, so we had to take over their room, unfortunately. But hopefully, with all this hard work that Eric's been doing and all the hard work I've been doing, hopefully one day we'll be able to buy a bigger home. Or at least convert our garage to like a studio or something. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's check out this printer. It looks like Eric has printed out some more designs.
Yeah, the printing works. It's just some of your cartridges are getting low, and for whatever reason, the chip resetter that we bought, it's not resetting them. So I don't know what's going on. It reset them once before, and it's reset the maintenance tank, which is this big guy you'll need. That goes in there to catch all the waste ink.
Yeah, that's probably over their head. So we'll go into more detail about how we set it up and all that. But let's just go ahead and I'll show you guys the printer. We have an Epson. What kind of printer is this?
Okay, so it's an Epson SureColor Pro 3880.
Okay, so
it's a picture printer.
So it's a picture printer, and we actually had to convert it to a DTF printer. And we're gonna actually do a whole tutorial, not with this specific printer, but with a more affordable printer. So we'll show you guys in another video on how to convert a printer to be able to do DTF. We ended up getting a second DTF printer. Now this one we still have to convert. And like I said, we'll show you a whole tutorial on how to do that. We just got another Epson. It's an Expression Photo HD printer, but we still need to get a few more supplies to be able to convert the printer, and we also need a certain software too to be able to convert the print, or not to convert, but to be able to use the printer. Basically, we had to buy like these special plastic films. They come in different sizes, so you can do bigger sheets for like adult t-shirts. Unfortunately, we won't be able to use this printer for kids clothing because the ink that we use for the printer is not compliant, I guess, for kids clothing. So, well, we don't know if it is. I need to do research, and I possibly might have to get the ink tested to be able to use for kids clothing, but that can get pretty pricey. That's one thing nice about a DTG. They actually have a brand of ink that's compliant for kids clothing, but searching for some ink that is compliant, because one of the main reasons why I wanted to get these printers was to be able to do kids clothing. For now, we're just gonna be doing adults clothes. So we had to purchase a special program to be able to even use the printer. You can't just use print settings, you actually have to have a specific program to use. Alright, so we are gonna pick a design and print it out for you guys. So we actually had to like makeshift a tray almost, because when you print out the sheet you want it to be like completely flat, because if it's not it'll cause like lines in the design and you don't want that. So you kind of have to keep it level as much as possible. So Eric used some boxes, some priority mail boxes, so don't come for me.
No, they're not good for shipping.
So, you know, we have a ton of these boxes, so we need to put them to use. We took a lot actually and returned them back to USPS, but we just had so many that we just used a couple for this, so don't come for me, please. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's print out a design. And definitely, like I said, go follow him on YouTube, because he's going to be doing a lot more tutorials on like the program, how to print stuff out, because this is kind of like his thing.
It is complicated.
It is complicated. This DTF is definitely not for everyone because it is new and not a lot of people know about it, so there's not a lot of information out there. But Eric's part of a DTF group. God, it sounds so bad. It sounds so bad. Eric is part of a DTF group, and the group's been super helpful on like helping us figure out all this stuff.
Should we call it direct? Just say direct to film.
Maybe, I don't know. It feels weird saying it, but I'll link that group down below as well for you guys to go check out and to go join. But yeah, so I'm gonna let him go ahead and upload the design to the printer, and we'll print it out, and then we'll go make a bunch of shirts. Also, once it's done printing, you kind of want to let it sit and dry, correct? Okay, so once it prints out, we're gonna let it sit for a little bit because of all the ink on it. It can get, like Eric said, a little runny. And then this looks bad too, but it's basically like a box of powder. Now this stuff is what makes the ink stick to the shirt. Like with DTG, you have like your pre-treatment, and that kind of helps like with the design and keep it nice and vibrant. This will help keep the design stuck to the shirt. So we'll show you once it prints out and dries for a little bit. We're then gonna
We'll do the whole thing.
We'll dust it with this, and then we'll show you what we have to do next. It's like a long...
Should we do this from start? Should we do the whole process?
Yeah, let's show them the whole thing. It's not too complicated, but there's definitely a bunch of steps.
Okay, so I'm going to send it to the printer now.
Okay.
I have it all set up on my design, on my program, but I guess we'll have to get into that in detail later.
Yeah, we'll save that for another video, but he already has the design picked out, edited, how he likes, and now he's just going to send it to the printer.
Just so you know, ahead of time, this, because we have an older version of the program because it's cheaper, it's going to take about 2 minutes just to send it to the computer.
Oh, wow.
Or to the printer. So if you get, panicky at first, just wait.
Okay, so it's going to take about 2 minutes for the printer to even register that it has a picture.
Depending on the size of the file.
Okay, so it's going to be a minute for it to start printing. And how long does it take usually, depending on the design, how long does it typically take to print?
These size things, 2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes. Okay.
It prints pretty fast. At least this printer does.
Okay.
This one is supposed to print pretty quick too. Now there's other models, entry models that people get that they spend a lot of money on because they get them from, websites. They print like 4 pages an hour, so like 1 every 15 minutes.
Oh wow, yeah. When you're trying to make money and mass produce, definitely that's not the way to go.
So it's gonna go. I'm gonna open up this top so you can see the printer head go. And you can actually see it lay down the color ink first.
It kind of almost looks like a DTG on how it like just prints back and forth and prints out the design. So with this printer compared to like a DTG will lay down the white first and then the design. With this, it's going to lay down the design and then lay down the white ink just like this. And the white ink is what's going to help the design keep its true color and like pop more, basically. So you can kind of see it printing out so far. Surprisingly, like, this doesn't take too long. Like, the printing part doesn't take too long. We still have a couple more steps we have to do before we can actually heat press it onto a shirt. But so far we're actually loving this printer. The ink is still super really wet, so I'm not gonna even like touch it, because if I take it and like hold it up, the ink could start like running, and we don't want that. So once it's dry enough, we're gonna lay it in here and get this white powder on it, and yeah, we'll show you that in a second.
It should be dry enough now.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead now and take our print that we just printed, and we're gonna throw some of that white powder on the back of it.
Yeah, so this is technically the back, the bottom. And then this is the side that was printed on. As you see, the white on top. Alright. So, this is another UPS box.
Don't judge us.
So,
we're being
I just
resourceful.
got all the powder on one side, and I just let it go right over top. I'm gonna go back and do it again. So you can do it by hand too, but it just seems to work with the box. Alright, and then it's covered all. Try to get most of it back into the box. And then
It's kind of like using glitter.
I don't glitter, dude. And then you just kind of have to flick off all the extra powder. Just because I guess if you have too much extra powder on the film, you'll see it on the shirt when you go to press it.
Oh,
So-
interesting.
It's all good now. See, I think there's a little right here. Little powder.
So now what we're going to go ahead and go do is we're going to lay this under my old heat press. I actually got a new one. We're going to go lay it underneath my heat press. You can also get a convection oven.
She doesn't bake, guys.
Because you have to like heat it a little bit to be able to like cure it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cure it.
But it's not very good to breathe. So we have my other heat press set up out in the garage. So we're just gonna go lay that under the heat press at 325.
325 for about 2 minutes.
And then we should be able to heat press it. So all right, so while that sheet is curing underneath the other heat press out in the garage, I'm gonna go ahead and get this heat press all set up. Let it start warming up so I can start pressing some of these other shirts. I just pulled a bunch of shirts, some of my Bella Canvas shirts from my stock. The nice thing about DTF is you can use these sheets on any type of material, so polyester, cotton, whatever, basically, almost whatever. But when you compare it to sublimation, it's better in that aspect because you don't have to use just polyester. You can use any type of blend of t-shirt to be able to do this. You can do this on canvas, and you can do it to like onto tote bags, things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead now and get my heat press going, and let's start pressing some shirts. Okay, so I have the heat press warming up to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. And when it's time to press the shirts, I have my heat press set to 30 seconds. Once it's done heat pressing, or once it's done being heat pressed, I don't peel off the film right away like I do HTV. I kind of let it cool down a little bit. And once it's cooled down just a little bit, I will pull the film off and then heat press it again for another 5 to 10 seconds. It's basically almost just like HTV. You won't peel off that film right away. And while that's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and chat with you guys for a little bit. I know you guys have a bunch of different questions about DTF, so if you have any questions about DTF that you want answered, I plan on doing a sit-down video with Eric, and we'll answer some of those questions for you guys. So down in the comments below, just leave a bunch of questions. We'll be able to do a specific video just about DTF. And I also have a bunch of videos coming out because I also, if you don't know already, I got a multi-needle. Finally, I made a bunch of samples so far, but I need to make a bunch more. So stay tuned for a video of me making some samples with a new embroidery machine, and stay tuned for a work with me because I currently have 15 open orders right now that I need to get out relatively soon, so stay tuned for work with me as well. I haven't been posting as frequently as I like because trying to learn a new embroidery machine, because with the bi multi-needle you don't really get a lot of training on how to use the machine. You kind of have to figure it out as you go or do a lot of research beforehand, and it's been quite overwhelming just learning that. And then we're also learning a lot about DTF too, so we've been just super busy trying to absorb as much knowledge as possible about these two different machines. And I'm also fully compliant now for children's clothing, so that took a whole lot of time and a whole lot of effort trying to get registered. I had to do a lot of research on what items are okay for children's clothing. I had to go through all my items and separate which stuff I can use for children's clothing and what items I can't use for children's clothing. And then I had to write up a bunch of like certificates to prove that I'm compliant for children's clothing. So I have a video for that too, on how like I make my tags, how I add my tags to clothing, and how I keep track of all my batch numbers and things like that for kids clothing. So that's a whole nother video for you guys. But I've been just crazy busy with just like with all the compliancy stuff, and with these two machines I've been super busy. With orders I haven't been as busy. It's been like the first 2 weeks of July have been super dead for me, but this past week it's picked up quite a bit, thankfully, thank God. Things are back to normal when it comes to getting Etsy sales, so hopefully it stays consistent like that. I did add a bunch of new listings to my Etsy shops. I don't know if that's helping me get more sales, but it's definitely been nice getting a lot more sales this past week, because this first 2 weeks in July were extremely slow for me. And I must say, I'm actually kind of proud of myself. Once I make the samples, I get them up either same day or next day. I still need to upload 2 of these new shirts that I already have done, and then I need to sit down and do listings for all these other shirts as well. If you want to see like my Etsy for where I'm going to be uploading these adult shirts, I have a whole separate Etsy called Nita and Thread Tees, where I have all my adult shirts on that site, or on that Etsy. So I'll leave that shop linked down below if you guys want to go check it out. But yeah, I'm going to stop rambling for now and get these shirts ready to be pressed. Okay, so the heat press is all heated up, so I'm going to go ahead and take one of my first shirts, and I'm going to go ahead and heat press it first to get all that moisture out, and then it just kind of helps the design stick to the shirt better. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do this design first. This is the Gold Digger one. Then I'm going to heat press it for 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm not going to peel it off right away. I'm going to let it cool down for a bit. So here is like the design. I'm going to heat press it again, but like I said before, we're still trying to like figure out all the glitches. Well, not glitches, but we're trying to perfect our technique. And as you can see, we messed up a little right there with the printing, but basically it'll look good enough for a photo. But we're still perfecting our technique. But I'm gonna go ahead and heat press this again for another about 10 seconds. Guys, I forgot to mention too, you want to lint roll really good before you add the heat transfers. Okay guys, so I will show you the shirts in just a second, but before I do, I want to show you the difference between these two prints. Same exact design and everything, but we actually had the wrong settings or the wrong resolution on the printer, and while I was heat pressing the designs onto the shirt, I noticed that a lot of the darker colors, you can kind of see like the lines, or see lines I guess. You can't really see it too well on the camera, but in person you can see like there's a bunch of lines just going down each of the letters or each of the designs. So Eric went and changed the resolution settings, and this one came out so much more like, not vibrant, but the color quality is way better, and you can't see the lines going down. So I'll show you what I mean when we look at the shirts. Okay, so for example, here's one of the shirts I pressed. You can kind of see like lines basically on the design. So with that new one with the new settings, it'll press a lot differently. But for, you know, testing out new designs on a new printer that we've barely used, I feel like these designs came out pretty good. This one, again, I showed you guys in the beginning, there was a little mess up there. This one was the very first one that I ever did, and I showed you that there was the white outline. But I'm super impressed. Like, look at this purple. It looks like legit, like, glitter vinyl. And it, again, it feels just like vinyl almost as well. And same thing with this. Same thing with vinyl. You want to be able to see the fibers in the design, because that kind of tells you basically that you pressed the shirt hard enough. With DTF, you want to use heavy pressure, very similar to HTV. So yeah, I'm loving how these turned out. I'm thinking for this one, I want to go back and change like the colors of the rainbow and the font. Cute design, the colors I'm not too big of a fan of. I want more, like, I don't know how to describe it, but like my other rainbow shirt that I sell for my big sis and little sis, if you guys watch my channel, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna do those colors, so I'm thinking I'll change out the colors for this design. I love the animal print, like tie-dye look to this one. This one came out super cute too. Same with that one. I love how the tie-dye turned out. But I'm in love. I'm totally hooked to DTF, and I can't wait to add more designs. Now, I'm not gonna do like every design that I have on a t-shirt. Just like how you can do with sublimation, you can use the PNG files to do mock-ups, and I could show you guys a video on that if you guys want. But just like sublimation, you can do just simple mock-ups using the PNGs or the SVG files, whatever you have. But yeah, you don't actually have to make the design. You can actually just get a mock-up photo of a t-shirt, and I got like a whole bundle off Etsy, and just do mock-ups and save yourself some money and not waste any t-shirt designs. But because we are still trying to perfect the printer or the print quality of the designs, I kind of wanted to test out a bunch of different colors and a bunch of different designs to try and get an idea on like what adjustments we need to make. But definitely I'm loving DTF. I hope you guys enjoy these designs we made. We have so many more coming. I can't even tell you how many designs we actually have coming out. Alright guys, well that's gonna be it for this video. gonna go ahead and take listing photos of these shirts and get these shirts listed ASAP because I have some Halloween ones, some teacher ones that I need to get out, or I need to get uploaded, so people will start ordering those shirts for back to school, Halloween, and all these upcoming holidays that I'm sure are gonna keep me very, very busy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like this video and you want to see more DTF stuff, give this video a like so I know you guys want to see more of this. And again, if you guys have any questions about DTF, leave your questions down below in the comments because I'm going to be doing a video, a Q&A basically for DTF, because I know a lot of you guys have some questions and this is so new. Not a lot of people know about it, so I want to try and give you guys some information on this because DTG, I want one. I want one of those printers, but unfortunately I can't afford one of those right now. So DTF is a good affordable option to be able to get into t-shirt making. So I want to be able to show you guys an affordable way to make some awesome t-shirts. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you guys next time. Bye.